Hey, what's up class? This is your ECS36A classmate Ayush, back with another video. For this video I want to give a special thanks to Eric Liu and Jasper Fadden because they're contributing significantly, so I really appreciate their help. And let's get started. So this will be a review guide. We're going to start with pointers. So basically what I have is, in this file, I have a bunch of different programs, small little programs, and they yeah, a bunch of little small programs. So we're going to be starting with like basic pointer examples, but it'll quickly lead to more advanced pointer examples. And so if you can understand the more advanced ones, then you're pretty well set for pointers. So yeah. Okay, so this one pretty basic, just pointer to one-dimensional array being passed to a function. So inside of int main, I'll be creating a one-dimensional array, and then of course we all should know the syntax for that. And then I don't worry about this stuff. Like, you can also create a static array, but don't worry about that. Anyway, we're gonna now assign all the values as 0, and then pass it to this dynamic modifier function. And so, because we're passing it by pointer reference, of course we put the ampersand, and then when we take it inside the function, we use an extra star. So original is star r, and then because we're referring it to a pointer, extra star. Now, every time we refer to it in the function, we use a star r instead of just r, because it's a pointer. And so if I were to run this code, now we get 3 because, let's see, what did we print? We just print, oh yeah, in the function we assigned one of the values, and then we just printed that value. Okay. Now, next example, a little bit more complicated. So we're going to be making a function that makes a 2D array and passes it to int main. So basically, like, let's say you want to create a 2D array of integers, and you want to create it inside a function, and have int main will have access to the 2D array. The way you would do that is you'd have to first declare the 2D array inside of int main, but don't allocate space for it here. Now you're going to say, so it's called matrix A. We're going to do matrix A equals, and the function, because the function will return a 2D array. So yeah. And now let's go inside the function. So this is the function. It will return int star star, and then, so yeah. So inside of the function, we have to create a 2D array and allocate space for it and everything. And we return matrix, like matrix without any stars. And that's how you can have int main receive it and be able to make matrix A be equal to that. So yeah. Now, next example. So, okay, so we're gonna have what this function does is it will I'll just be showing you like passing. So you pass something as a pointer to a function, and then inside another function you take it in as a pointer to a pointer. So I'll just be showing the syntax for that. So we have int a equals 5, and now we're passing a pointer to a to this function, so we have to take in with a star in front of it, and then we put every time we refer to it in the function, we use star a, and then now we want to pass it to this new function, and because we want to continue referring to a as like the original value of a, and not have the function create a copy of a, we have to take it in. We have to pass it like the original address of a, and then now taken as a pointer to a pointer, so that the function doesn't create a copy of it. Because if we just pass it in as a and then put a star here, then it would be, the function 2 would be creating a copy of a. And then so anyway, the way that we would make function to receive a pointer to a pointer is you have to pass the original address and then take, yeah, this is syntax basically. So yeah, if you understand that, then that's pretty good. Now we're moving on to the next example. So here we have, okay, so inside of int main, we create a 2D character array, and we allocate space for it, and then set the values of the 2D character array. And now, most of us probably already know how to do this, pretty basic stuff. And now we want to pass it to a function, and we want to pass it like the original. We want to pass the board, like we don't want to pass the pointer to it. We just want to pass like the board itself. So that because you want to do that, we just don't put an ampersand here, and then we take it as only star board, which refers to the original star board. So that way the function will be creating a copy of board, and then yeah, and then so inside of this function you can modify it and whatnot. Yeah. Now, let's say we want to pass the board to a function by pointer reference, then you have to put an ampersand here. You're passing the address of board, and then let's go to modify board. Right here, you're taking, so star board is like the original thing. Now you add an extra star because it's a pointer to board. And now, so yeah, assigning values in there, and yeah, so if you run that, so like this is the original one, and then after I passed it to modify board, now it's a different 2D. I mean, now it's filled with different values. Okay, so this example is I think my second hardest one here. So if you can understand this, and that's pretty good. What this code does is we're going to be taking basically it's a function that will, okay, so inside of int main we'll create a 2D array of integers, and then we'll pass it to a function by pointer reference, which will add a row to the 2D array of integers. And then let's see, oops. And then here in this function, delete table, will delete the 2D array by pointer reference. Pretty important stuff to know. So yeah, let's get started with this. So in star mat, we're creating a 2D array and then allocating space for it, and then allocating space for, okay, so allocating space for the rows, and then allocating space for the columns with the for loop. And then this is just assigning values to it. And now, so we want to pass it by pointer reference to add rows, so we have to put an ampersand. And then if we, like, this is just an example of something else we would use an ampersand for. Like, we want to pass an integer by pointer reference, and you have to put an ampersand in the front. Now let's go up. So, okay, so star mat is original, add another star because it's by pointer reference. And then, yeah, so then you would have, every time you refer to mat, you'd have star mat because it's by pointer reference. And okay, so here's another thing. So notice how in this realloc statement I use int star. This is making the adding the row. So I use int star, and then if you go down to int main, you'll notice that I use int star mat. So it's like the original functionality, right? And the reason I can do that, like, so the reason I don't have to put an extra star and I can just put int star is because I'm dereferencing mat. So like with the pointer, dereferencing it. So now after I dereference it, I can just think of it as if it's the original mat. And that's what the pointers are for. That would they make like when you dereference them. Now that you're referring to the original actual mat, not a copy of the mat that the function has created. So yeah, the original mat. So there we are adding the row by reallocating space for it, and then we're setting for that row. We're allocating space for the columns of it, and then. So this is just filling in the values, pretty basic. And then, okay, so now for delete table, I'll just go over that really quickly. Passing it by ampersand address of mat, and then let's see, delete table, or taking an extra star, and then we're gonna use free, and then we have to we have to dereference it with a star because of course we're dealing with the pointer reference. So free all the rows, and then free the matrix itself, and also set it to null. And yeah, that's the syntax for that.